Apparently the style of the main building in 1606 was in a Rococo design. Don't know what this building, the main building, was architectural style when it was built in 1606, but in 1721 it was redone in a lavish Baroque style. But then in 1818 it was done in a current neoclassical style. After a fire somewhere we'll get some indication of what it would have looked like in its Baroque style, because as you know from my earlier comments, I think this is beyond bland. The flower gardens here are outstanding, better than anything I've seen in these kind of palaces to my knowledge so far. Now what they were like in the day is a whole different story. I wonder if there's any specific logic or iconography in these designs, or whether they were just the whimsy of the creative artist at the time. There remains too much green space. It would seem to me they would have filled out more, but maybe not. See some chandeliers. Again, the outside may belie the profound ornamentation of the inside. I'm betting was an aviary, just has that look to it. I imagine this had water tumbling and may still on occasion. So I've given them permission to go in. I think this may be a concert hall. Certainly one of the fun things about not having a guide is you don't have a clue. It means everything is a discovery. Irony is, while I know relatively little when I entered these doors, and they scared me because all of a sudden they popped open. But this is eerie. Watch. I have to reflect on a couple of things. Doors keep opening automatically for me, which gives me two reflections. One, in the past, that would have happened because the doorman would have opened it when they saw you coming. Of course, you'd know they were there and know that was going to happen. In the future, this may be what all doors do in our new homes, because why not? So where I entered was, to chat with a lady, was an office. We go out, she said, to the right, and then a few meters I'll find a stairway that goes up to the second floor. An irony, had I not been thinking, I could have walked my face right into that door thinking it was going to automatically open, but it didn't. Just to forewarn you for future, when you think a door may be automatic and it's not. Here would have been the entrance for the concert hall. It's very pretty in a simple way. Of course, remember, everything we're looking at is not huge slabs of marble, but rather a veneer. I don't think I should denigrate Salome for being a mistress, or the prince for having one, since the current Prince Charles of England boasted to his wife, "I don't want to be the only prince that doesn't have a mistress." We may be able to take a look in here. Novel to be able to see this much at 7:30 in the morning with no crowds. Very ornate looking with that gold coloring. As we saw in the other palace, these rooms would have had many uses. This is probably an audience room as well as concerts, small or large. Like a pretty little clavichord. Has lovely legs on it. What may be original store flooring. It's very weathered. Keep wandering, I have a premonition I'm going to get thrown out of one of these places. We are in offices now. What they were originally, I have no idea. There's much more for us to see. I came in down there, I suspect. These are lovely doors, simple in their design. They're not too terribly heavy either. There is an upstairs, I guess. I'll go up the stairs. Royalty does love its statues. Looks like a flying door. So artistically, these sculptures have just a little bit of gold on some small icon. There, a cup. Icons may identify the individual. This may be Pan's flute, P-A-N's flute. Other than the concert hall, which is the only evidence that I can see, or allowed to see, of this being the palace, but it says it's Mirabell Palace. Unicorns. There's somebody bringing a pack of dogs in here. Sign said no dogs allowed. To the right of the palace building we were just in, if you were facing it as we were when we first entered, is another portion apparently of the park-like grounds. They're nicely trained, I have to say that. A gaggle of cranes, or clutch of cranes. Is a major thing in Europe, in these large cities in particular. These bike paths are damn near sacrosanct. You better make sure you know where you're walking or you'll get run over. Paracelsus would have been Salome's view from this end of her park grounds, if you will. The castle in the background. Certainly an enviable place to sit on this little prominence and admire your station in life. Lithe grace of a dancer. Must be 8 o'clock. This is called the Vogel House, which I assume means birdhouse. It's now a museum. It may have been a wall that protected the main castle grounds versus the subsidiary park-like grounds. And this bridge would have allowed the Prince and the Salome to have access to this well now defined parklet area. I'm endeavoring to find a way up to there. Apparently there is no way to get up there except across that bridge, giving her her own secluded park area from which to look down on the peeps. But thought I saw somebody roaming around, and there are benches up there. There must be a way, because I see someone who just crossed that bridge, so I'm going to see if I can find that way. I've known that Salome would simply exit the back of the castle, walk around the pool, the fountain, up the stairs, and across the bridge. Out of pure maliciousness, I suppose. Is that the prince on the left and Salome on the right? Don't think so. She's lacking some of the protuberances. We get to go across the bridge. It still was a very protected area. Walk a path perimetered by these stubby little dwarf-like characters. And dwarfs, is that possible? A goiter hanging from his neck? Dressing this span. Wait, dressing this span. Wait, dressing this span.